Sunday. I'm Sarah Baldwin. Welcome back to Sunday with Sarah. Today I'm going to spend a little time speaking about homeschooling. Now I realize this won't apply to everyone, but a common question that I've received is we love Waldorf education. I'd love to send my child to a Waldorf school, but am unable to. It may be because there is no Waldorf school close to you in your geographic area. It may be because you can't afford private school tuition. It may be because your child has special needs that can't be met by the Waldorf school. There are a number of reasons. So in these cases, one option for you is to homeschool using Waldorf methods. Some of you may be aware, if you've read my biography or if you've been following me, that I homeschooled my own two children and my niece for a couple of years. My kids went through a Waldorf school from nursery to 8th grade, except for those couple of years when we took a break, and I homeschooled. And I learned so much during those 2 years, not only about homeschooling, but about how children learn. It was a really valuable experience and a really rewarding experience that I think we'll always treasure those couple of years that we all had together, working and learning together at home. So common questions I get from people interested in homeschooling using Waldorf methods are about which curriculum materials I would recommend. And I'm familiar with a lot of them. I reviewed a lot of materials during those years we were homeschooling and since then, and have some opinions, which I'm happy to share with you today. And keep in mind, these are only my opinions. As they say, your mileage may vary. First of all, one of the most well-known curriculum packages out there is called Meadow, and it's very well established. It's been around a long time, and it's used by a lot of families interested in Waldorf education. I have to say it has a Waldorf flavor, but having examined the curriculum, I have to say it's not very true to the philosophy behind Waldorf education. It's got some inspirations from Waldorf education, particularly with the crafts and artistic activities they offer. But in a lot of ways, it strays pretty far from the philosophy behind Waldorf education in terms of the year-by-year curriculum as designed by Rudolf Steiner, which was very brilliantly developed, in my opinion, to meet a child's developmental age at each stage. But it is a very well-established program, really kind of lays out day-to-day lessons for you. If you like some things about Waldorf, if you're uncomfortable with other and you want something a little more mainstream, it may work wonderfully for you. It's in terms of providing an education, it should be just fine. I know many families who use it and love it. But when I began homeschooling, I started out using live education, which is really a beautiful curriculum designed by two Waldorf teachers, very true to the philosophy behind Waldorf education, and very similar to what children would be getting in a Waldorf school in terms of daily lessons and curriculum, grade by grade, beautifully illustrated. We started out using this, and I had, as I said, my two children and my niece, so I was homeschooling 3 different grades. And the curriculum required planning 3 different lessons each night or the day before, creating main drawings for their main lesson books that I would create and the children would copy. It was pretty labor intensive. We lasted a few months, and I found I got more and more stressed out. I was up till midnight trying to prepare lessons each day, and the kids were having less fun. And until it dawned on me, this was really a curriculum developed by Waldorf teachers, very similar to how they would be taught in a Waldorf school. And I began to realize the difference between school in Waldorf education in an institutional setting versus being at home, where you can have a lot more flexibility when you have a class of 2 or 3 or 1 versus a class of 25 to 30 students. There's a lot more flexibility. So just about the time when I was getting frustrated and looking for something new, a woman named Donna Simmons, who was Waldorf educated herself, she went to a Waldorf school, I believe from kindergarten through high school. She had done Waldorf teacher training, and most importantly, had the experience of homeschooling her 2 boys, designed her own curriculum called Christophorus, and we'll post the link to Christophorus's website below this video. But I ordered her guides. I was so impressed that this was a curriculum that not only really understood the philosophy behind Waldorf education, understood the curriculum, but here was someone who actually had the home experience as a homeschooler herself, who knew what it was like to be a mother who is juggling the demands of a family, preparing meals, doing laundry, doing the shopping, doing daily errands, and homeschooling your children. And Donna finds brilliant ways to incorporate children into the life of the home and make them learning experiences. And she's, since my days as a homeschooler, has developed many more guides and curriculum guides, grade by grade, and early childhood. So when people call me asking for my recommendations, Christopher's Homeschool Resources is always my top recommendation. And if it's something you're interested, I invite you to check out her website. And another option, if you have children under grade school age, you don't need a curriculum. I will, in another post, I will talk about how life is the curriculum for preschoolers and how just daily living will incorporate all the lessons your child needs before 1st grade. And so if you're a parent at home with young children under 6, if you're a home daycare provider or interested in taking care of other people's children during the day, you must check out Lifeways. Lifeways North America offers a training program for parents and child care providers. Very inspired by Waldorf education and the insights of Rudolf Steiner, the founder of Waldorf education. And it's not only a training on working with children, it's also about self-development. And as a parent, I can't recommend it highly enough. We'll post the link to Lifeways North America's website below this post. And there's a lot of great resources on Lifeways website. And I highly recommend you sign up for their newsletter because it's just packed with great information on working with young children. And finally, through the years, since I've been a homeschooler, there have been a lot more websites and people designing curriculum guides for homeschoolers interested in Waldorf education. Some of them are great, and some of them I've read a lot of misinformation and have been concerned about some of the information out there being somewhat misinformed or not really displaying an understanding of the underlying philosophy and curriculum. So if you are researching and looking about, I urge you to ask yourself a few questions when you're evaluating whether to spend money on a curriculum. Who is the author? Are they a trained teacher? Do they have a degree in education? How long have they taught? If they're promoting a Waldorf curriculum, are they a Waldorf teacher? They receive Waldorf teacher training. And how long have they been in operation? Those questions will help guide you to find, quality resources for educating your own children. So let me hear from you. Are you a homeschooler? Are you using a curriculum? What are you using? What works for you? Are there other resources that you know about that you can share with others? I would love to hear from you, as always. And thanks so much for tuning in this week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.